Do you know, my gorgeous Leo, that you are going to get some kind of a phone call, or you are going to have some kind of a message, or you are going to have some kind of information where you are really going to start worrying a little bit about this one specific person in your life. Okay, and it's to do with somebody who you were worrying about already. Okay, so this phone call, message, and information, it's gonna make you feel really, really worried again. And I've seen this person before, and it's to do with a specific person in your life, a really gorgeous person. I love this person. This person has done nothing but helping other people all this person's life. All what this person did was helping to other people all their life, and now that poor person, is suffering because somebody is like really playing such a difficult role in that person's life, and that person is dealing with somebody who is unwell, like unwell, mentally probably unwell. That's what I mean. Somebody who's really struggling, somebody who's fighting their own demons, and that person who's fighting their own demons is like taking a lot out on this particular person. And you're going to start worrying about this person, I'm afraid. There is no other way of saying this. Almost like I can see you like sitting down, and I can see you worrying a lot. And I think that somebody is also really financially really bad for this person. Somebody is using this person when it comes to their finances financially, but this is like not a very good situation, because you will understand that you have to be very careful when it comes to all this. It's not just like, okay, yeah, you're worrying about this person because somebody else is doing something bad to this person. Somebody else is using this person basically, and this, it's horrible. And it's not an easy situation, because that other person who is doing that to this person is like mentally unwell. And if you kind of just go out there and just say everything that you will know that you will make everything so much worse. So this is why this is a catch-22 situation, like, oh my God, like never before. But this has been going on for a while, my gorgeous Leonie. But you need to do something about it while you still can. You need to do something about it before it's too late. And I don't want to sound like complete dark lala here, but it is what it is. You need to do something about it immediately. But on top of all that, it's not so easy, is it? Because you have to be very careful. Because if you just go and be very blunt about everything that you know, and if you show your anger towards that other person, then everything can be worse, because that other person is going to take it out on this person. So this is why this is so difficult, my gorgeous Leonie. This is why it's not so simple. And now you're going to have this message, this phone call, and something is really going to make you worried here. First of all, I can see you sitting down and thinking and holding your head. Oh my God, you will not know what to do. And it's also a lot to do with the health of that person that you're going to worry about. And it's a lot to do with something to do with the finances, with the financial situation. Something it's going to give you a bit of a headache. And then you're going to get a message. Then you're going to get an important message, like really important message. And when you get this important message, you will clearly understand that you need to meet with that person. You need to go to that person who you are worrying about, like immediately, as soon as you possibly can. I'm afraid, again, there is no other way of saying this. You're going to need to go there and sort something out. Oh my God. So there is like a little journey that you're going to make to get to some kind of destination here. And you are going to have a very much so a discussion. An important discussion is finally going to take place. But when it comes to this discussion, this is not about fighting, this is not about arguing, this is not about screaming. Remember that you have to be very, very smart and very clever how you're gonna do this. You know, you don't put fire out with fire. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to something like this, because that person who's causing these problems is very strong, very active, and very intimidating, you know, unfortunately. And the only reason why that person is so intimidating is because that person had a very difficult life themselves. And that's why they've ended up with so many demons. And that's why all this is like so much more difficult. It's not that simple. You have to be very smart, very clever to just go out there and to just say what you're worrying about. Oh my God, you will just make the worst thing ever. So it's about trying to be as friendly as possible. And I know it's hard, but this is exactly what you're going to need to do. And as I said, you're going to get an important message and you will go there. It's going to be like this great sense of urgency because you're going to start to worry about money and health when it comes to that person. And you will go there, and I know that for the first time in a long time, you will be facing this other person, and you will be talking to this person, and it is going to be like, oh my God, you will try to prove your point, and that person will try to do their point. That person will kind of maybe lie a little bit, but then again, you know this, you know, and then it's like you just have to be very smart. By being smart, by not blowing up, you will be a couple of steps ahead. You need to be smart, and you need to keep that person happy. There is no other way of saying this. Keep this person happy, but also at the same time you need to put your point across. So good luck to you, my gorgeous Leonie. But I don't need to tell you good luck because okay, it's going to be like an important conversation, a bit of a heated debate, but it's not going to end up in with something bad. I think this needs to happen. You know, sometimes in life things needs to get a little bit worse in order to get better. And I'm not saying that this is going to be like with your life in general, but when it comes to that specific person, you know, it is going to be a bit of a heated argument, but something really bad is going to come to an end. Something really bad is going to come to an end. So whatever you're going to do is going to be smart. And I think that it's a lot to do with the right choice of words and the way you're going to kind of keep the temper of a certain person down by maybe constantly praising them up about something. So you kind of create some kind of a balance, some kind of a level. You know, first you tell them something amazing, and then you tell them something else that's not that amazing, and then you tell them something amazing about themselves, and then you just have to be very smart. But you know, we are not talking about a normal person here, so that's why this is going to be a bit difficult. But whatever you're going to do, something bad, it's going to come to an end. Not only something bad, it's going to come to an end, but it's also going to pretty much so going to come to a good end. You will be able to resolve the problem for the first time in a very long time when it comes to that person. And for the first time in a very long time, that person who's causing these problems is going to start seeing things differently. And so, wow, you're going to be very smart, my gorgeous Leonie. Whatever you're going to say, whatever your approach is going to be. That's why this is going to be so important, because it's not only something bad, it's going to come to an end, but this is in itself going to lead towards this big, nice, the beginning of a nice change. You know, something bad is coming to an end, the beginning of a very nice change indeed. And also, my gorgeous Leonie, somebody, okay, I'll carry on with this. Okay, sorry. This is going to basically, yeah, this is going to come to an end. You will resolve this. So this in itself is going to kind of be a nice process of transformation, to be quite honest with you, you know. And you know, and of course, as I said, yes, it's going to be a bit of a row. Something unexpected is going to happen when it comes to that row still, you know, because that particular person is really unpredictable who's causing this problem. So something unexpected is going to happen, and you are going to be like, oh my God. But then again, it is going to be like a really nice, you are really going to have a nice surprise, you know. You're also going to have a really lovely surprise. And the lovely surprise is that, first of all, something negative is going to happen when it comes to that person, but then again, that person is going to kind of understand certain things for the first time. And I suppose this is what you're going to have as a happy surprise. And this is something which is, at this stage of your life, going to keep you going like there is no tomorrow. And also, my gorgeous Leonie, what else I was going to say, that somebody is going to try to push you to maybe invest into something, and I need you to be very, very smart. I need you to be very clever. Someone will want you to invest into something, and you just need to be so smart, because someone is going to be really pushy, and I do not like this person whatsoever. And maybe it's not necessarily like to invest into something, but maybe it's to you starting something also, which is going to be ever so difficult to get out of. Maybe signing something, maybe some kind of a contract. Somebody's going to be so pushy, and you will know that there is not, something is not right here. So you're just going to need to be really, really smart. So whether this is a contract, whether this is like signing something, whether this is like a legally binding document or whatever it is, you need to be very, very smart. But all you need to do is just follow your intuition, because I do know that you will know that this person is too pushy, but I'm worrying that, that because emotionally you will be thinking about other things, because that person who you're going to be worrying about initially is somebody who you really love. It's one of the main people in your life. So that's why emotionally you're going to be affected. So I'm not saying that you're not going to be there, but sometimes we don't even realize how much something emotionally affects us. Especially when certain things are happening at exactly the same time. We tend to respond to the certain situations just to kind of get them out, get them off our case, and carry on with what we are thinking about or what we are doing. But we have to be very, very careful in situations like this in life, because you don't want to start something that is going to be impossible to get out of, or it's about starting something which may, it's not that necessarily this is going to be irreversible, but it's going to be a long time until you kind of, come out of this. So you just need to be very, 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 very smart when it comes to this, indeed. And this is something that I wanted to mention, my gorgeous Leonie, so much. And also, what else I was going to say, at around the beginning of this week, I really like this. You are pretty much so going to, you will do something for yourself. You will be on your way somewhere to buy something for yourself, or to get something for yourself. You will be on your way somewhere to do something that you really, to get something that you really love, to buy something that you really love, that you have been thinking about for a while. Or you're going to be on your way somewhere to do something that you really enjoy. Maybe it's some kind of a leisure center, or whatever this is. And you are going to, once you get there to this destination, whatever this is, it depends, you are going to have a very, very interesting idea at the time when you get some kind of urgent news, or an urgent message, or an urgent phone call. And the phone call or message, or this information, it's not going to be as urgent as such, but to you this is going to be urgent, because you will know that it's to do with something that you're trying to achieve, something that you're planning, something that you're working on. But it's going to work in a really brilliant way, because this sense of urgency, it's like really going to bring this new idea, that is like kind of, that is something, on one hand, you are going to need to be patient about, but then again, on another hand, this idea, brand new idea, which you are going to have, it's also going to lead towards you, first of all, needing to find out a little bit more and explore, which is going to happen already at around the end of this week. At around the end of this week, you're already going to like kind of explore something further when it comes to this amazing idea which you've had. You will explore something further when it comes to the last part of this week. And once you start exploring, your life is going to literally change. Why you're going to find out that this is something that you must not come out of, because it's to do with who you are, it's to do with your destiny, and it's to do with an ongoing plan that you are also like kind of working on, you know, and it's like a little bit of everything in this. And this in itself means that at around the end of this week, you are going to have such a nice adventure, my gorgeous Leonie. You are going to have a mind-blowing adventure at around the end of this week. The moment in time you kind of look further into this idea, there is something you're going to need to find out. There is something that you're going to need to explore. And once you make that first step, once you make that first move, there is going to be the beginning of an adventure. And if this is not going to be one of the most spontaneous things in your life that ever happened to you, I don't know what it is. Absolutely brilliant. Oh my God, the level of optimism you're going to have, it's just going to take over. It's going to heal you immediately. The way you're going to feel, you will know that you are indeed doing the right thing. So yes, I know you were worrying about this person at the beginning of this week initially, but this is what the flavor of the rest of the week is going to be like. Do you know what I mean? So do not ignore this idea which you are going to have. Do not ignore this idea. Oh my goodness. And also, by the time you get to the mid part of this week, my gorgeous Leonie, I have to say this to you. I have to say this to you, that, you know, you are gonna be very pleased when it comes to this result. There are a couple of things that are going to happen. This result, it's like the choice that you've made in your past, my gorgeous Leonie. It's to do with the specific choice which you've made in your past within the last year. You were very, very smart when you responded to the certain situation. You were very, very smart, very clever, and it happened within the last year, and you really kind of needed to respond to some kind of situation like really quickly, really urgently, and you didn't really have much time. And that in itself just made you feel like, I don't know, did I make the right choice or not? And that was like about 1 year ago. And now you're going to realize whatever was happening 1 year ago, you made the right choice, and you're going to be able to see the result. And now that in itself is going to be extremely beneficial when it comes to your finances and when it comes to your financial situation, because you will be able to relax after this moment in time. And another thing which is going to take place at around the midweek. Oh my God. So first of all, you will realize that you were very clever, very smart when you made a certain decision like about a year ago. So financially, this is going to kind of start rewarding you right now. But also another thing which is going to happen at around the midweek. Oh my God, this is much better. This is like really big, because it's to do with, you know, a really, really nice achievement. A really nice achievement. It's not massive, it's not huge, but it's a very nice achievement. And that in itself, it's more about clarity right now than anything else. I think it's to do with things that you are already kind of working and doing. Maybe it's to do with your work, maybe it's to do with your business, it's to do with like money in general. This in itself, it's going to be like something is going to start looking very, very promising. But it's not so much about something to start looking promising. It's to do with something that you've been working on, and maybe financially it didn't work out for you as well as it normally would. You know, so it's something that you were doing for a while, for a long time, but and it was okay, and then at some point just went a bit like, oh God, you know, not as great, not as good. Maybe within the last couple of years it hasn't been as good, or it hasn't been as great, and that affected your financial situation again. So this achievement here, it's going to mean to you so much, because for the first time in like about a couple of years, you will be able to see and realize that the things are changing and they are gonna start working in your favor. So this achievement that you are going to have, it's not gonna be like huge, massive, but actually, to be quite honest with you, it really is huge and massive, because after that moment in time, you know, you will be able to relax because of there was a lack of achievement when it comes to this. So that made you question yourself every now and then, or whether I'm on the right path, or am I doing the right thing? Should I move on with my life? So this is why you will know. This is more like a personal confirmation. Yes, you are on the right path. But why you're going to feel so excited is because now suddenly you are going to realize also an opportunity. You will see an opportunity that you didn't see before. This is where Big Mama is about to come in, my gorgeous Leonie. Big Mama is knocking. Open the door, baby. It's time. Seriously, this is where Big Mama is going to come in. You see, again, one thing is literally going to lead into another. Hello, baby. So you see, it's like basically it's like an achievement, but a recognition, so you will be able to relax finally. Hallelujah, baby. But also at the same time, you are suddenly gonna see an opportunity somewhere when it comes to all this, that you're gonna realize an opportunity where you didn't see an opportunity before. I mean, how brilliant this is actually going to be. And now you're gonna, oh my God, that opportunity is something that, oh my goodness, you know, it's like, whoo, it's like this is gonna make you feel very, very excited. And there are two things that are gonna be somehow connected to this particular opportunity, two things that you're gonna be persistently thinking about, you know, and you will realize that opportunity is the one that it's going to make you realize how much you want to like kind of you know, move on with your life, because you are going to go into this like a bit of a hermit mode. All this is going to be a bit of a surprising for you, and I can see you sitting down later on, chilling out, relaxing, and I can see you thinking how, you know, you want more out of life, and this is brilliant. And you're going to realize, well, something will need to go, and then you're going to realize, well, you know what has been making me feel so unhappy for so long, now suddenly I can basically make an adjustment when it comes to this, you know. So you're going to realize that there is something that you're going to need to sacrifice here. But again, I cannot call this sacrifice whatsoever, because at this stage, at this moment in time, you are going to start seeing things in a completely different light. You are going to start becoming very, very excited. You're going to realize what's so special and what's so different about you. You're going to realize what makes you feel so powerful. You're going to realize what makes you like so unique. And that's the way to be. And you're going to be thinking about that. Can you imagine what a big moment this is actually going to be? This sacrifice that you're going to need to make, it's like a more to do. Oh, I think it's to do with like a lifestyle choice, or a lifestyle, something with your lifestyle you're going to need to sacrifice. There you go. When it comes to this sacrifice, it's to do with your lifestyle. It's something to do with your lifestyle, but you're not going to see this as a sacrifice at this point in time, this moment in time, because you will see things in a completely different light. And what is really going to take over, you're going to be like, oh my God, I'm so great. I'm so good at this. I'm so amazing. And you're going to go like creative. And each time you're thinking about how good you are at something, each time you feel creative, each time you heal yourself, each time you rejuvenate yourself, each time you have like a personal rebirth, to be quite honest with you. What you're doing right now, you are most certainly setting the boundaries as well when it comes to things that you should do and things that you shouldn't do. But also you need to understand that there is going to be some kind of a risk that you are going to feel like you are taking. That's something that I must not forget about whatsoever. So when it comes to this like a surprising opportunity that based on two different things, it's all going to boil down towards you understanding, oh my God, the final thing when it comes to all this, it is going to be like some kind of a risk that you're going to need to take. Okay, fair enough. Yes, there is going to be some kind of a risk, but this risk It's going to be something that you must do. You have to do this because it's going to be super rewarding. One of the most rewarding things in your life you had in a very, very long time. In a very long time. So this is why this is going to be so important. And by the time, sorry, by the time you get to the last part of this week, my gorgeous Leonie, let me tell you, by the time you get to the last part of this week, you know, sorry, you are gonna be like, this is like, it's to do with an ongoing challenge in your life. When it comes to the last part of this week, it's to do with an ongoing challenge in your life that now you're going to become very confident about. And this ongoing challenge, it's pretty much so like to do with you. Suddenly, do you know what? Something is going to remind you of your past. There is a one specific person who is going to get in touch with you or from your past, or you are gonna maybe see the photo of somebody from your past from a long time ago. I wouldn't even be surprised if you like kind of going through your drawer, or if you're going through your cupboard, or if you're tidying your home, and then suddenly you're like going into this cupboard you haven't been in a while, like, or something like that, and then suddenly you find a certain photo, and there is a photo that you're going to find, and it's going to remind you of your past, you know, from a really special people in your past you're going to be reminded of, and it's going to be like that, some kind of situation like this, honestly. And you are going to feel like a little bit nostalgic, you know, you are going to feel a little bit nostalgic, but then you're going to start thinking about, you know, your past without even realizing. And you know, you're going to start thinking about your past without even realizing. For example, you're going to be so affected by this that it's not all gonna happen then. So you see the photo, or you're reminded of the specific person from your past, and you're thinking about them for a while, and then later on, while you're doing other things, you are still subconsciously going to be thinking about it. I know it sounds crazy. And then that's going to be the direct reason of why now suddenly you are also going to remember the specific situation in your past from absolutely ages ago, something that you actually forgot about. You will remember. And now suddenly that situation in your past, it's somehow going to remind you of this ongoing challenge in your life. Ongoing challenge in your life. And that ongoing challenge in your life, it's to do with the plan that has been affected. It's to do with one of the most important plans that you're working on. So now sudden, but it has been affected because something has been kind of slowed down a lot, you know, and you have been in a bit of a limbo for a while. And I know this, and this limbo has been going on for like about 2 or 3 years now. And don't get me wrong, this is not a bad thing whatsoever. Maybe even 4 years, because it's to do with a certain plan, my gorgeous Leonie. Something that you were so excited about. I know it sounds crazy, but something that you were so excited about 4 years ago, and then lots of terrible things happened, and I think that things in the world and all that, you know, that were going on and things like that, that slowed things down for everybody on purpose. But yeah, anyway, but yeah, lots of other things happened. So some kind of a plan for your future, a big plan, this is a big mama, was really slowed down, you know, and this means to you so much. Do you know what am I talking about? If you don't, most certainly you're going to be reminded of this. So now at the end of the, and that created a challenge in itself. So you were in a limbo in such a way where you know that where you are, it is not your final destination. Where you are right now, it is not where you're going to be for the rest of your life. You do know this, don't you? If you did not know this, you will be reminded of this, because this in itself is going to lead towards the biggest, mind blowing, big mama lifestyle change. Like the ultimate lifestyle change, like the ultimate. So when I say that you were in a limbo within the last 2 or 3 years, no, within the last 3 or 4 years, I mean that the certain plan has been slowed down. Either you can lie to yourself and say that you are excited where you are with every single aspect of your life, or you can be honest with yourself. But being honest with yourself, trust me, things are going to become crystal clear, very sharp indeed. And this is exactly what you need at this stage of your life, clarity like that. And this is what I'm talking about. Okay, whether you do know, whether you don't know, whether this is your final destination, where you are, it is not, because you are going to be somewhere else. And this in itself, this situation where you're going to be reminded of your past, somehow something is going to be triggered within you subconsciously. So first of all, you see the photo, whatever happens, or you're reminded of this person, and then you're thinking about your past at that moment in time. But then later on in a day, you're still going to be affected big time, where subconsciously your mind is still going to be boom 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 going over and over again. And then suddenly you're going to have this insight. You're going to remember something from your past, from a long time ago, an insight from the past. It's about to really answer your question to this challenge that you've been dealing with when it comes to this plan, the one of the biggest plans being like kind of slowed down. So now you're going to realize which steps do you need to take. How crazy does that sound? You're going to realize which steps you need to take. And on top of all that, your third psychic eye is going to be open. You cannot do things wrong whatsoever. And you will realize which steps do you need to take when it comes to that plan. Oh my God, this is something that you're going to be so determined about to take. You will surprise yourself how determined you're going to be, but it is indeed going to be very, very successful, and it's going to lead towards a massive accomplishment. The steps that you're going to realize that you need to take, there is a one particular step that you're going to need to take here. And this in itself, it's gonna, oh my God, it's gonna work out absolutely brilliantly for you. Okay, absolutely brilliantly for you, like, oh my God. And if you do happen to kind of make a little trip or little journey somewhere, like at around the end of this week, for example, if you do kind of, because I did say at the beginning of this week that you're going to make a journey and go to, I did say that you're going to go to this person, and then I say that you're going to need to go somewhere to sort something out, and then you're going to have an idea. But now there is also there is also something that you're going to need to go and buy or something like that at around the end of this week. My God, 3 times you're going to go somewhere this week. Seriously, 3 times. And this third one, you need to be very, very careful about. Because you are going to be something, there is a little trip or journey that you're going to become aware of, but this trip or journey, it's not going to happen this week, for example, but at around the end of this week, you are going to realize that you are going to need to kind of go somewhere to kind of you're going to realize that you're going to need to go somewhere to kind of buy something or to get something, but my problem here is, so this is not going to happen at the end of this week. It's going to happen like, later on, my gorgeous Leon. It's going to happen within the next couple of months, I would say. This is going to be like a bigger journey. This is going to be like a bigger trip that you will go to, where you will enjoy yourself. You will love it. You will really enjoy yourself. But the problem that I am having here is that something is going to be offered to you, and I do not like what's going to be offered to you. Something that it's going to seem to be too good to be true, and you're going to be you're absolutely right. You do not ignore your intuition, because something not really good is going to be offered to you, and I don't like this whatsoever. I know I'm making this reading so confusing right now, isn't it? Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. So at the end of this week, you're going to become aware of some kind of a trip that you're going to need to go to. But this is going to be a big one. somewhere maybe abroad or somewhere far, and it's going to happen within the next couple of months or so. But and you're going to have a great time, you will be enjoying yourself, but there is something which is going to be offered to you, and I need you to be very smart, because you will know that this option, it's not going to be good for you whatsoever. It's going to be like almost like I wouldn't say, I don't want to say poisonous, but it's just like something not going to be good for you. But I do know that your intuition is going to be guiding you, so it's really how much you are going to be paying attention to your intuition, my gorgeous Leonie. That's how much you're going to protect yourself. So this is something you need to be very, very smart about. So that third journey, it's not going to happen, sorry, this week. It's going to happen within the next couple of months. You're going to enjoy yourself. You're going to have a great time, but something is literally going to be offered to you. Something is going to be offered to you, and you're going to be surprised, and you will know, oh, maybe I shouldn't do this, and maybe I shouldn't like go for this, and you're absolutely right, because if you go for this, it's going to be so something stupid and unnecessary. It's going to happen, so please just be smart, and you are smart, of course you are. Okay, my gorgeous Leonie, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace, and light to every single one of you. Sasha Bonasin, Psychic Medium. Love you. Bye.